It's cold. I love it. I really, really love autumn, and especially after such a hot summer, I just couldn't wait for the rain to come, for the mist to come, and to feel cold again. I just really, really like the entire vibe of autumn. Just being able to get really, really cozy, holding a cup of tea, wearing a sweater while it's raining outside. And perhaps the thing that I like most about autumn is that I can engage in my favourite aesthetic again, and that is dark academia. Now, if you aren't familiar with what dark academia means, it is an aesthetic or a lifestyle. It is mostly about the arts, a lot about knowledge and poetry, mostly fixed around Greek mythology, but also it is very much about wearing blazers, wearing sweaters, wearing neckties. A quick look to my outfit might tell you a bit about what you would wear if you follow the dark academia aesthetic. And the dark academia aesthetic is just perfect for autumn because it is just the ideal life of someone following the dark academia aesthetic, to sit in a coffee shop while it's raining, holding a cup of tea, reading a book, and just looking out into the world of autumn, falling leaves. And that is why, when the temperature started to drop, I decided to go on a little vintage shopping spree. So for my vintage shopping spree, I went to Antwerp, which is a city that really just gives me those dark academia vibes because of the beautiful architecture. That is my sister in the blue right there. And besides having beautiful architecture, Antwerp is just a great city for vintage shopping because they have so many thrift stores and antique shops, and all of them are just really, really good. Of course, we also had to get a Belgian waffle, which was so sweet I actually got a bit nauseous, but was totally worth it. And at the end of the day, when my arms were so sore from carrying all my bags because we had bought a lot of things, we decided to head home. So what I did is I bought a whole bunch of stuff from vintage stores. And what I want to do now is to show you the items that I bought, why I bought them, and also to show you some outfits that you could make with these items that are in the dark academia aesthetic. So let me just get my stuff. This is my stuff. Oh my god, I just knocked over my entire cup of tea. And it's quite a big cup. So I'm just gonna clean that up for a moment. It's alright, people, I got a new cup of tea. Okay, let's get started. So the first item that I bought, actually one of the first items that I saw when I entered the first vintage or the first thrift store, was this orange sweater. I personally don't really wear a lot of colour. And basically in the entire dark academia aesthetic, you are more likely to wear a lot of, well, black, a lot of white, greys, browns, more a dark blue, dark green, or a dark red. But colour itself is not really often seen in dark academia aesthetics. But I wanted to make an exception when I saw this sweater, because this colour, I don't know if it really catches on camera, but it is this orange that is just, this is the colour of autumn. This is the colour of pumpkins and the leaves that fall off the trees. So I really, when I thought if I'm going to make a autumn aesthetic outfit, this has to be it. I'm just gonna show you, just gonna put my microphone down for a bit. It is really, really, really nice. It's really soft as well. It is, I believe, 100% wool. And what I like especially about this sweater is this little V-neck, because that is just perfect. Perfect for, well, for wearing a necktie. Because if you have a sweater that runs a bit more like this, like the one I'm wearing, it might disappear a bit. And that is just a shame, because I really like wearing neckties. So I like to show them off. And so this sweater is just perfect. So these are two outfits that I would style with this sweater. So moving on to the second item, it is a blazer. And a blazer is an essential piece of the dark academia aesthetic. You just need a blazer. So the thing of buying vintage clothes is when you enter a vintage store, there is always just a rack of blazers hanging there. And the trick is finding the right one for you. So they're mostly really, really big, but I think this one is actually it actually does fit me quite right. See, it's not that wide. It does have some padding in the shoulder, which I like, because then you get this really nice tailored look. And why I chose this blazer especially because I already have a lot of blazers. Oh my god, I have so many blazers. But why I chose this one specifically is that it is slightly colourful, and that is what I was looking a bit for when I was doing my shopping spree, is finding a bit more colour, because I found last autumn and last winter I was wearing a lot of dark colours, and at a certain point that can get a bit boring. So I was looking for a bit more colour, and I do really like the hints of red and the hints of green that are in these blazers, because those are colours that I do actually wear, so it makes it easier to make an outfit with it. So this is an autumn outfit that I would make with this blazer. So moving on to the third item, it is actually a bit of a basic item compared to the other two. It is simply just a turtleneck, a beige turtleneck, but I have been looking for a beige turtleneck for quite some time. If you ever look up outfits of dark academia, you will often find turtlenecks, but especially black turtlenecks and beige turtlenecks are very, very popular. And I wasn't allowed to borrow the one of my sister, so I was looking for one of my own. And these are some outfits that I would style with a beige turtleneck. Moving on to the fourth item, we have pants. And can I just say, if you are ever feeling like you want to gamble or something, or you're feeling very, very lucky, you should try buying pants in a thrift shop, because that is just an entire gamble, isn't it? It has to be the exact height, the exact width that would fit you, because otherwise it just, well, too tight pants, no one wants that, because then you can't sit down in it. And having pants that are slightly too big immediately makes you look very, very baggy. So it is very, very hard to find pants in a thrift shop, but I did manage it. Woo! But I did manage it, so I'm really, really happy with it. It fits me perfectly, and just really the pattern and the colors are once again perfect for the dark academia aesthetic. And you already actually saw it in the last outfit that I showed with the beige turtleneck. But yeah, this is just how I would style pants like this in a dark academia autumn vibe. Moving on, we have another sweater. Because you can't have enough sweaters. You can't. And this one is red. I really like the color red, especially because it is one of those colors that do look good on you once you get a bit paler during the winter. Unlike, for example, beige. Beige you can't really wear in the winter because that is the point where you're already so pale that you're blending in with your beige turtleneck, and that will look. But yeah, red is the perfect color for a sweater, especially. I just really like this sweater. It has this pattern. It is very. It does really give off this student vibe, and it is just really, really cozy. You can really tell from the how thick the wool is that it will keep you warm during the winter. So that's just an essential part of wearing a sweater. Is not only does it look good, but it's also functional, because you don't want to wear something and you're actually very uncomfortable in it and actually you want to throw it away, because that would, you know how bad it is to constantly throw clothes away. Wear vintage, guys. Wear vintage. Wear second-hand clothes. Okay, so the next item is something that actually my sister recommended to me, because she said that when she looks up dark academia aesthetic outfits, that she often sees outfits with a corset. And corsets are not really things that I would even consider wearing. But she said to me that I should actually try something that is a bit out of my comfort zone. So I own a corset now. You know how hard it is to get into a corset? You need 2 people to get dressed. It's but eventually it looks really chic. That is actually the conclusion I came to when I was styling my outfit, which you will see in a second. It is something that I would not wear, say, to school or to work, but it is a party look. This is like Christmas or something. But then you eat a lot, and then you wear. I don't know yet, but well, this is an outfit that I would style with a corset. And last but not least, it is the pearl of my vintage shopping spree. I found this massive coat. It is a massive coat. It covers me completely to like my shoes. It is so long. It is like a mantle, and it has this fake fur on the sleeves, but also on the collar, and it is just a look. It is a. It is such a nice coat. I already actually possess a coat, a black coat with a fake fur collar. So I actually first bought it as just a reserve um, for just to have a second coat that looks a bit similar for in the event that one of my in the event that my other coat gets dirty or gets destroyed or something, that I could wear still the same outfit. But it just really looks nice because it has this tailored look. It is super long. It makes me feel a bit like a witch in a good way. And it was only €4. That is when, oh my god. So I this is my favorite coat now, I think. And a coat like this is another essential piece for the dark academia aesthetic. Just to have a black coat or something that looks similar, like a navy blue coat or a brown coat or a grey coat. In this same type of fabric. I don't know what you call it, but well, we all know these kind of coats, and they are just the finishing piece of the dark academia outfit when you go outside during autumn. So this is an outfit that I would style with this lovely, lovely, lovely long coat. So yeah, those were all the items that I bought during my vintage shopping spree. And well, not only do I really like the eventual aesthetic that I can use them for, but I also really like just the idea of vintage clothes. Because, well, wearing clothes from shops like H&M, Zara, Mango, Pull and Bear, that is just really well, it is fast fashion. It is clothing that is not really good quality. It breaks very quickly. It is something that you would more quickly throw away, but also something that is really mass produced. And um and actually the fashion industry is one of the most polluting industries of the entire world. And wearing vintage clothes and buying vintage clothes, supporting vintage stores really makes me feel a bit better because I'm not contributing to this fast fashion industry. And it is also just really better quality. If I have learned something from in the past wearing clothes from, for example, H&M compared to wearing the clothes that compared to wearing clothes from vintage stores, is that just like the sweaters are like really keeping you warm, the blazers are really keeping you warm. Like wearing pants from H&M during like the biking through the rain, I could really feel the difference in texture, and just like the rain fell completely through the fabric immediately on my skin, compared to like a completely 100% wool pants that I wore that I bought for like 20 euros somewhere in a vintage store where the rain rolls off of. It is just more comfortable, it is better for the environment, it's often much cheaper. If you are not already engaged in vintage shopping, I hope that this might inspire you. And if you have any trouble with like finding outfits or combining items to make an outfit from vintage stores, I hope that this has helped you to some point. So if you like this video and you would like to see more of, well, me, please consider subscribing. I will publish videos weekly all about dark academia and similar aesthetics. Sometimes a haul, sometimes a DIY, sometimes something completely different. So yeah, consider sticking around, and I would love to see you another time. Bye.